Following the massive success of the Tour de France and the Olympic Games, cycling has never been so popular, with 2% of us claiming we're using our bike as a main form of transport and 42% of us actually owning one. So we're here at a Swindon Chiropractic pop-up clinic to find out how we can stay fit and healthy while using our bike. Hi Chris.
Hi Alistair.
So it's great that people are cycling, but what are some of the hazards that people can encounter?
Well, cycling is almost like clothing and footwear. Like, it has to be a very good fit for you to actually be right. So in terms of the bike fitting the cyclist, it's about the position of everything, like the position of the handlebars, position of the pedals, and the seat as well, the saddle. So you can get problems from settings that are not right for you. So position of the handlebars, if it's too low, then you may have a tendency to kind of round your shoulders out, hunch your shoulders, which may see muscular knots and pretty much stiffness in your neck manifesting. And with the saddle, the height, if you've got it too high, then it can overemphasize your hamstrings. If it's too low, it puts a lot of pressure on your kneecap and your quadriceps. And also the calf muscles are a big one that also be affected by an improper seat height. So essentially it's a great idea if you take your bike somewhere that they can make sure that it's a good fit to you. I'd actually go to like a cycling coach or an actual course that's designed to make sure that you know how to ride your bike in the most efficient manner.
Now, of course, there's different grades of cyclists, from recreational all the way through to competitive. And I understand Claire here is more of a recreational cyclist. So what would be the differences between the two?
If it's recreational cyclists, it's about good posture and about great settings on the bike, basically. If you go towards the elite end, it's going to be more training regimes. It's going to be, you've got to hit certain targets, like for example, a time over a certain distance, like mileage increases. So you have to have something that's in place that's progressive, that actually it's respecting the limits of your body.
And how will those kind of problems manifest themselves? How will a cyclist recognize them?
Well, it's kind of hard to self-diagnose yourself, but loose guidelines, if you've got almost point-specific pain. So it's quite common to get aches and pains after a vigorous workout, cycling included, but they're more vague. They affect like a broad range of muscle groups, and they're much better with rest and they'll disappear. But if you have a persistent pain somewhere around your muscles or even in your joints, actually, that's kind of intense and it always comes on with movement and it lasts more than 2 to 3 days, it's worth getting that checked.
Now, cycling, of course, is like any other sport. I presume it's quite important to warm up and stretch first.
A very good idea. And the types of stretching, you're best off, again, seeing a health professional, because they can tell you what to stretch, how often and what for. And of course, not only the stretching, but a decent warm-up, like a very gentle pace on your bike before you have to increase your speed and your mileage.
So Claire, I know you've got to be on your way, so thanks very much indeed for your time. And I see we've got coming in Matt, who's more of a competitive cyclist. So have you got any tips or words of advice for him?
Of course, the consideration with a competitive cyclist is the mileage and the training, and the effort is going to be much greater than a recreational cyclist. So it's about maximizing comfort. So kind of the accessories you can get for a bike. So anything such, for example, like a foam or a padded handlebar and grips. So that's going to minimize the shock from the bike through the wrists, which is great for preventing, sometimes you get an issue of numbness and tingling in the fingers and stiffness around the wrist. It can even go as far as your neck. So minimizing that, and also the thing that you sit on for the greatest amount of time, the saddle. If you can get something that's comfortable for you, that supports you adequately, it's going to minimize the chance of your lower back feeling the ill effects of cycling and your buttocks becoming uncomfortable. If that happens, it could cause you to adopt a bad position for your body overall. So the bike shops and the coaches can check your form and the settings of the machine that you love the most, but essentially the driving force behind the entire activity is you, and that's where we come in and checking the function of your body and kind of giving you any tips and advice to sort of prevent things happening again.
Brilliant, well, some great tips. Thanks very much, Matt, and Chris, thank you very much indeed. Fantastic. And you can find out more information, as always, on the website, where you'll find out all of the various treatments that Swindon Chiropractic Clinic offer. In the meantime, thank you for watching our Swindon Chiropractic pop-up clinic. We'll keep you moving.